Greetings mod lovers across the universe, DW here, along with no one else, because this is Mod Explaining. In the last episode I ended up explaining about advanced computers, advanced turtles, advanced monitors, and advanced pocket computers. In this video I'm going to be showing you some programs that are in disks. Now, before we actually begin, most of you should know by now that I've ended up actually explaining about this mod for a very long time. I've ended up doing mod explaining mainly around Computercraft at this point for a very long time. And at this point, I think I've ended up actually explaining everything that needs to be explained about everything that you would see here. But there is actually another part to this mod. Now, there's all the stuff you'd end up having in survival mode, but if you're in creative mode, you can end up actually going into here, and you can end up actually getting these different types of disks that end up having different types of names, and inside them, different types of programs. Now, seeing that I'm in creative mode, I can end up actually getting to these. See, I can fly, and I have no health bar, as you can see right there. Seeing that I can end up getting to these, I thought I might as well end up explaining these disks that end up having programs in them. So without further ado, let's begin. The first program I'm going to be explaining about is a program, albeit the first disk I'm going to end up explaining about is a disk called A Long Time Ago, which, by the way, it also not only does it end up saying the name of the disk, it also ends up saying who made it. This disk with the programs inside it has been made by Dan200. It also ends up saying it with all the other programs. As you can see right here, it also tells you the name of the program or the name of the disk with the programs in it and the people who ended up making these programs with the disk, with, you know what I mean. Who ended up making these programs that have the disk end up holding. But anyway, the first program or disk, the first disk with the programs in it I'm going to show you is a long time ago. I don't know why I said alone. A long time ago. That says a long time ago. This disk ends up only having one program, which is called A Long Time Ago. Most of the time when, not most of the time, all of the time when a disk is called a certain name, that probably means that that's the name of the program inside the disk. So we're going to end up running this A Long Time Ago program. Now, hold on. If I end up running this, each and every one of these programs end up doing a different thing. This program ends up kind of running like a little movie. And, yep, as you can see right there, it runs as a very Pacific movie. Star Wars themed. This program ends up running a movie that's kind of, well, I wouldn't say based off Star Wars. It practically is Star Wars if you end up watching this whole entire thing. Hold on. Spa of apple juice. Sorry. Sore throat. Anyway. Continue on. Which is quite cool, except the one problem I found, as you can see, loads and loads, that's supposed to be a spaceship. Again, this does look very cool, except there are a couple things I have found that's wrong with it. One, whenever characters talk, or whenever there's text on the screen, sometimes the text ends up going off the screen because, well, the screen isn't actually big enough to hold what they're saying. And also, wait for it, sometimes what they're saying ends up staying on screen for a very long time, so you can end up seeing it, but it also ends up, oh, look, it's Leia. I believe that's her name. It's been a while since I've watched this movie. Anyway, as you can see right now, the text is actually going off screen very fast, meaning that if you aren't fast at reading, like I am, you won't be able to read it all on top of not being able to see the text, which is quite bad if you ask me. See, I can't fully read. Hold your... You didn't even say the rest. Yeah, so the two problems I found with this is that one, the text ends up popping on screen then going off screen very fast, and two, the screen isn't big enough to show the entire movie. Now, I'm going to end up actually leaving that to just run the movie. Oh yeah, if I end up actually just going away from it. Oh, I think when the minute you actually go away from it, it actually ends up pausing the movie for you. That's cool. But anyway, I'm just going to end up leaving that because this disc ends up actually showing I wouldn't say the entire movie. I'm not sure how much it does show, but it does show a lot for a very long time. And I'd rather not spend the entire episode just staring at a screen, just watching this. Because believe you me, this does last for a very long while. Hold on. I've got a really sore throat today. I don't know why. It's okay. Anyway, but yeah, I'm going to end up going on to something else because that ends up lasting a very long while. And besides, if you want to end up seeing the rest of that movie, all you need to do is just get this mod and just get in creative mode. Go into here. Get this, as you can see right here. This is the first one, and just place down a disk drive and a advanced computer and just play it. But anyway, now I've ended up showing you that. Now I'm also going to end up showing you. Hold on. You can see I've ended up going. I end up having a chest of all the discs I'm going to be showing you. Now I'm going to end up actually showing you. You've seen it work on a advanced computer, but can it work on a normal computer, normal turtle, or an advanced turtle? Well, I'm going to answer that right now. So if I end up actually going CD disk and end up going ls, which ends up showing me the program a long time ago, it ends up actually running just like it would end up running on a advanced computer. So you can end up actually running it on this. It's not really specific. Some of these programs do end up having to only run on an advanced computer, but some of them don't. You can end up testing out that. Now hold on. If I also end up doing CD disk, go ls, and I'll end up running it on a normal turtle, so you can see if that works. Long time ago. What have I done here? I typed down. Okay. A heat wave's kind of going on at the moment, so my brain isn't fully functioning. Okay, so it does run, but as you would imagine, seeing that a turtle's computer screen isn't that big, it's actually smaller than a normal computer screen. Oh, wow, he just got shot. I like how we just got to see that. Anyway, seeing that smaller than a normal computer screen, you even see less. So it's better just to use either a normal computer or an advanced computer than just a normal turtle. Seeing that, you end up seeing less with just this screen. The same goes for the... Hold on. Oh yeah, I need to move this. I think they'll just run either... Yeah, they'll just run the same, even though I removed it. The program's still running. Whatever. CD disk. ls. A long time ago. Okay. And just like the normal turtle, the advanced... Not the normal turtle. Oh wait, no. Yes, the normal turtle. I thought I said computer there for a second. Never mind. Just like the normal turtle and the advanced turtle. The advanced turtle has a small screen, meaning that you can't see the rest of it, which is quite flawed. Now, that's enough of that. The next thing I'm going to go on to is another disc called Protector. Now, this is actually different from what you end up seeing here. Oh, he's got a lightsaber now. Cool. From this program here, where it ends up running a movie, this one ends up running, if I end up showing you, CD disk, ls, and then end up running Protector. It ends up actually running a little mini game. Now, in order to begin, all I need to do is press space. I'm not going to press space yet. It ends up showing you a couple things. One ends up showing you what buttons you need to do in order to play, and also ends up showing you what score you need to beat, or what score that has been put on here from the people who ended up making this, I believe. As you can see, in order to fire, you need to press space. In order to move around, you need to press WASD, the normal way you move around. And if you wanted to leave, you just press P. But just to show you, hold on. Okay, so let's see if I can end up actually beating this game. Damn it! Oh, and I need to wait until I can fire again. Phew! Okay. Okay. Also, I'm going to end up trying to beat this game for a little bit because... Hold on, why don't I just do this? Phew, okay. Oh yeah, I haven't even explained what this game is mainly about. Sorry. As you can see up there, there's a scoreboard and there's a thing saying humans left. There are 6. Phew. And it ends up showing you lives. Basically what you need to do in this game, you need to end up protecting the humans, 6 humans, from the spacecrafts you see right here. Kidding me. And you end up needing to score very high. Now I'm going to try and end up protecting all my humans from the evil aliens. Whew. You need to time it very well, by the way. Okay. You also need to go back and forth in order to... You kidding me? What? I'm actually panicking now, Jesus. Oh, thank God. That was harder. Oh yeah, and the more you do this game, the more faster it gets. meaning that you need to be very, very quick. Oh, I'm actually stressful from this. Well, not stressful, but damn it, I almost killed myself then. Oh, you little. Okay. Now. Oh my god. No, 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 no. I cannot lose a human. I lost a human. God damn it. Oh yeah, and I believe if you end up losing humans, you lose a score. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, I think they put 2 humans in one place. Okay. I'm gonna try and get a score of 20 or higher, if I can. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna. Okay, P. Okay. The reason I did that is so I could quit, so I can end up actually showing you this. Once you end up beating a high score, it ends up actually asking you what would you like to call your name. I'm gonna call myself DW, and now it ends up actually showing my high score. Because the original high score here was just 20, now I've got 2010, which I actually wanted to show you. Also, once you end up finishing the game, it also ends up coming up with Y or N, either play again or I think leave. I think Y is how you end up playing again. I'll just press P in order to leave. And yeah, it shows my high score. And N, it ends up turning off the computer entirely, and you just need to click on it again to activate it again. So that's that on the advanced computer, but as like before, I'm going to end up showing you it working on the normal computer, normal turtle, and advanced turtle. If I end up saying, hold on, I could just end up getting rid of that now. If I end up mixing up their names, I do apologize. So let me quickly show you it working on a normal computer, a normal turtle, and an advanced turtle. Bloody mouthful it. Still playing it. I'm gonna just Control T this. Okay. I think now it should end up coming with LS. Yeah, okay, now it has a protector. So if I end up now doing protector, and now end up going into it. Oh yeah, as you can see, it ends up telling you once you end up trying to go into it, or play it, I'm sorry, protector requires an advanced. Yes, you can only end up running a protector on a advanced computer. Just to show this again, Control 2, LS, and then trying to do protector again. Once again, it comes up with the same message. Sorry, it needs a advanced computer. And if I end up doing it with a advanced turtle, what the hell? Why? It's a long movie. Anyway, what? Not a directory. What? Don't understand that. Oh, that's because I haven't even put it in there. Duh. Sorry about my stupidness. It's a common disease. Anyway, LS. Now we have protector. It ends up coming with the same message. So yeah, you can't end up running the protector game on any of these. You need to end up just running it on a advanced computer. This one ends up running on all of them, although I mainly use just advanced computer or a normal computer, because advanced turtles and normal turtles end up having much smaller screens, as I just showed you before. Now the next one I'm going to end up showing you is a disc called Battleship, and you notice that there's 2 advanced computers here. You need 2 advanced computers for this. Now the first thing I'm going to do is, hold on, where am I here? CD disk. Let's see here. I'm going to end up doing LS, and we have Battleship, Battleship, and end up doing this. Okay, now it ends up actually coming up with this. It ends up actually saying either Battleship host or Battleship join. It's basically telling you can't just do Battleship, you need to be very specific. So I'm going to end up doing Battleship host, and before I actually click on that, along with having 2 computers, you also need wireless mode. No, Yeah, wireless. I almost thought it was joined up modems. You need wireless modems in order for this to work. So I'm going to end up doing that. And it ends up coming up with this player name. I'm just going to call myself DW1. And if I end up doing the same thing with this, DW, and then doing LS, battle, a ship, and I'm going to end up doing join, because I've already ended up making a host. DW1 is the host, he's the one who's running the game, and this one and DW2 is the one who's joining. Basically, when you end up doing this and sign down your name and say join, it ends up searching for the nearest game you can end up playing, nearest player you can end up playing with who's hosting, which in this case is me. So if I end up doing this, now we're actually in the game. So if I end up actually moving stuff around, now there's loads of ways you can end up moving your thing. Also, you can end up doing R if you want to just have it random, if you can't really decide where to put your battleships. Also, you see at the side, also ends up telling you what to do. If you want to end up just, hold on, tab, whoops, I pressed capitals. If you want to end up moving to ship, if you can't click on them, like I can, because this is advanced computer, you can end up just doing tab and just end up going to each one. If you want to end up changing their position, just press space, as it says there, and it also ends up saying if you want to drag it, end up moving it, just drag it along, and if you want to end up changing it, I think you just need to right-click it. Yeah, I just need to right-click it in order to move it. Oh yeah, you can also, I believe you can also end up, you can also end up using the arrow keys in order to move them around, which is also quite good. But anyway, I'm going to position them now. Let's see here. Okay. Don't know why I'm doing a Indiana Jones theme. And then in order to finish, just press F. Now we're just waiting for opponent. Okay, let's set up my opponent. I have issues. Okay. And now I just end up pressing F. And it ends up saying out, so you can end up... Hold on, how do you... Oh, wait, I need my opponent's going first. I think it's whoever finishes first goes first. Now I can end up moving around my thing just by using the arrow keys. I can also end up pressing stuff like, if I wanted to press J, it goes to the J row. If I wanted to press 0, it goes to the 0 row, J0. Now, this is actually all quite good, but there is one thing I found with a glitch with this. You see the target system? It's actually quite glitched in a way, because at the moment I'm on D7 and it says G4. I don't know why it says that. I think it's just a glitch. If you want to end up shooting, either press spacebar or just click on it. I missed. Damn it. It also says I missed. If you want to end up hitting your opponents, it'll end up showing an X. Hit! I ended up hitting them. Yes! And you can end up just doing that, and I believe once you end up winning, it also ends up showing that where you've been hit. Once you end up winning, I think the game just ends afterwards. But anyway, that's that. Now I'm going to end up showing you working on a normal computer, a normal turtle, and an advanced turtle. So let's quickly get that again. I'm going to end up getting this one, so we don't have to use it again. And close that. Okay, I just realized I need 2. Should have put that into my planning. Or did I? No, I didn't. Okay. Just put that there. Put that there. End up doing LS. End up doing battle. A ship. And then host. Okay. And I'm doing DW1. And so yeah, this actually ends up working. So if I end up doing CD disk ls battle ship join and then DW2. Hold on. Gonna take a drink. There, lovely. Okay. Now, as you can see, it ends up working the same way. If I end up pressing F, it ends up moving the same way. You notice, though, that it doesn't have the same advice it had for the other game, where you can end up dragging it, though, because obviously you can't in this one. But once again, you can always end up re-angling them, and it's not that colourful either. Ew, it's disgusting. You can also end up re-angling them just by pressing space, so no biggies. But that's how that works. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to press finish now, and then I end up doing the same with my opponent. Finish. And it ends up running the same game as you can see here. Hold on. Ends up running the same game. If you end up killing, Oh, I was actually shooting at random. Let's see, can I end up shooting at... Yeah, it ends up coming up with the same symbols. It should end up doing the same thing with... Battle... for God's sake. Battle... Ship... Host... And then... DW1... Okay, just waiting for another opponent. If you're wondering why all these two turtles are facing this way, if you end up facing a if this turtle was facing that way, the wireless modem would end up blocking the signal to this, meaning that it wouldn't be able to connect. If that makes any sense. Now, if I do Infinity Disk, Battleship, join DW1, and as you can see, it ends up working exactly the same. Except, oh, actually, no, I just remembered. It actually doesn't work exactly the same, I just realized. Because, one, the text is hard to see. It's all bunched up together in a corner because the screen is so small. And also, if you end up pressing finish, it comes up with this error. I don't know why it comes up with it, but I don't know. If I end up pressing F here, this has a glitch. So yeah, it doesn't end up working on normal turtles. The same goes with, hold on. Nay. Anyway. I don't know what that was. God knows. The same ends up working with this. I end up doing CD disk. What am I doing? Battle. Hold on. Battleship. Host. And then... What did I press? What did that... I'm not going to ask. DW1. Where the hell did the A come from in that? Why am I doing CD... Oh no, wait. This does make sense. Okay. I was wondering why I was doing CD disk again. I thought to myself, oh, no way, I'm actually correct this time. Battle, ship, join, and do DW2. It should end up doing the same thing. See, the thing isn't showing completely, and if I end up doing F, it ends up having the same glitch. See? See? So you can only end up playing this game, end up using this program on the normal computer and the advanced computer. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to end up showing here, or I'm going to end up showing, why did I say we? Is a, hold on, is the program called Lua IDE, which I'm going to end up showing. CD disk, ls. If I had to end up saying this in a couple words, basically this kind of a program, it's not a game. It's more of an advanced version of the Lua program, or the Lua folder where you can end up testing out code. Now, if I end up... Hold on. Cancel. Now, as you can see here, this is the loading screen. Albeit the main menu, sorry. Now, there's 4 buttons here. Here's the first one, which is a new file. This ends up making you create a program. I'm going to end up calling it DW13, and I'm going to end up pressing enter. And it ends up bringing you into here where you can end up creating your own program. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is end up typing down print here and here. And notice how it ends up coming with that weird error message. If you don't end up typing down something that has anything to do with programs, it ends up coming with that error message telling you that's wrong. So you should end up doing the right thing. Now in here I'm just going to type any random code. Hi. And where you end up having this kind of thing where, hold on, where there's loads of different kind of stuff, it ends up letting you actually create a thing in here. I'm going to call this DW12, enter, and now I have DW12, print, Bob, and if you want to end up getting back to the program you were in, you can end up just doing open, and then just putting the program you want to get back to. I'm going to get back to 13. Here I am back in 13. If you want to save it, saved. I'm going to go to the other program and save it as well, just in case I need it. And save. If you want to end up closing the thing you're in, just go to there. If you want to, by the way, if you want to end up opening it again, just go to here. DW13. We're back in here. Hold on. If you want to end up printing it, that's good. That's a good thing, I guess, but it doesn't do anything. If you want to end up quitting, that ends up closing the entire, pardon me, that ends up closing the entire program. You can easily get back in though. Do open DW13. Okay, and here you can end up also doing some other stuff. Now, hold on. If you want to end up also doing stuff like cut, copy, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm going to end up doing more programs. I'm going to end up doing print, job, yeah. And, okay. And if you want to end up doing that, you can end up using this. I'm going to end up doing cut and end up putting it right here. Paste. If you want to end up copying a line, end up cutting the line and copying the line. If you want to end up copying the line, you can end up doing that. So if I end up pasting here. If you want to delete a line, you can also end up doing that. You delete an entire line. Hold on, I'm going to paste it back in again. And if you wanted to just clear the line so it's still there but it's gone, you can also end up doing that. Now there's also other stuff. You can also end up choosing which line you'd like to go to. Like, say I wanted to go to line 1, I can now go to line 1. If I want to go to line 3, I can go to line 3. I think this is basically for the people who want to end up making really long programs and they want to get to a certain line of code. This is how you can end up getting there much faster instead of having to go tap, 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 tap all the way down. Or tap, 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 tap all the way up. Tap, tap, tap all the way down, or tap all the way up. You can end up just saying what line it's on and end up quickly going there. You can also end up pressing this button, which I have no idea what it does. It does nothing as far as I know. You also end up doing this, where it has different settings. So there's the Lua setting. There's the brainfuck setting. I apologize for those that don't like swearing. I have no idea why it's called that. But all it basically does is end up doing this. Ends up just coming up with a message saying brainfuck. God knows. But I'm very sorry. I usually don't swear in these videos, but the only reason I am swearing is because I'm reading, so whatever. And finally, the only other setting there is to, oh yeah, you can't click on it. You need to use the arrow keys. The only other setting is the normal setting, which we kind of already have. But I'd like to go to the Lua setting, which looks much more nicer. So yeah, there's 3 settings. Two that make sense. The other one doesn't make any sense. Normal setting. Actually, the middle one's just rude. That's just wrong and rude. Anyway, there's also the start line. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me go to here. You see that the thing's on J. This ends up sending it to the first line, and this ends up sending it to the last line. I think that's just for if you have a very long line of code, and you just don't want to keep on typing this way or this way constantly. But the only last thing is the run program thing. We can end up just doing run. It ends up showing you what it's doing. See, job and hi. You can end up showing it working, and if you want to get back in, just press space. And if you want to end up, there's 2 different types of run. There's the run program or run. I have no idea what that says. Where it just basically ends up coming up with this, and I'm going to end up saying. You end up saying anything at the end. You need to just put that. It does the same thing. It doesn't change the name of the program. I'm not sure what that does. It basically does the same thing as far as I know. But hold on, let me quickly do one last thing. Now, the only other buttons I haven't shown you is the exit button, which that should be obvious, and the settings. Now, the only thing in settings is return to menu or exit, which should be obvious. But the only other thing is change theme, which I believe it ends up saying there's no available themes. You have to end up downloading it somewhere else, I believe, and then it just ends up just turning off the entire computer. But yeah. Let me quickly end up showing you what it ends up doing, or does it end up working on a normal quote-unquote here? Hold on. Control T. If it ends up working on a normal computer. What? Oh, right, because I haven't put anything in. Whoopsies! Doggies! Welcomes! Don't know why I said that. Anyway. I'm gonna quickly end up doing this. End up doing ls and end up doing Lua ID, where basically it ends up doing this. You can end up in order to get into these, you can end up pressing enter, end up doing that. It's not as colorful. This already exists. What? Okay, just open. I must have ended up being must have been from when I was testing this out. Sorry. The only thing I have noticed though is that you can't. I don't know how you end up enter. I don't know how you end up getting to these, seeing that you can't click on them because it's a normal turtle, normal computer. Same with the turtle actually. Hold on. If I end up now doing Lua ID and end up doing, I think open program. I probably ended up making the same thing, didn't I? Yeah, I was just testing this out in my spare time. Oh look, it came up with an error message because I was just typing down gobbledygook. But it doesn't look like you can click on these, which is a problem. So yeah, you can't use this program on normal computers or normal turtles. But you should be able to, hold on. but you should be able to use it on. Hold on, advanced. Hold on. Let's. You should be able to use it on an advanced turtle. At least I think you should. Yeah, you can. The only problem is that once again the screen is too small. I think I've already. Yeah, once again I've already tested this. See, I can't even see the buttons there. But besides the screen being too long, it looks like you can actually end up using this. Fingers. Oh yeah, I was testing this out. Anyway, I ended up testing this out in my spare time. I forgot to get rid of all this. But yeah, you can end up actually. It looks like you can end up actually using this program on a normal computer, on an advanced computer and an advanced turtle. It's just that you can't use it on a normal computer or an advanced or a normal turtle. Sorry, but although to be honest, I'm only actually halfway actually explaining everything I've ended up learning in my spare time, but I've already actually seen how long the video's been, so I think I'm going to actually end this off here, and the next video that comes out will be another mod explaining video where I'll end up explaining the rest of what I know. So, I hope you all enjoy, subscribe, make sure to leave a like. If you want to support the channel, make sense to your friends, your cats, your goldfish, and make sure to look out for the next mod explaining video that comes out where I'll end up explaining the rest of these programs that end up having, that have the rest of these discs that end up having programs in them. I almost ended up mixing it around there. I don't know why. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!